That's right, folks, the sequel to the Tetris-style musical puzzle game Chime that released back in 2009 for Xbox 360 and PlayStation 3 is now making its return to the Xbox One with Chime Sharp. Playable with 16 songs and 4 different playable modes, Chime Sharp brings matching rhythm in the puzzle, having you do it with speed as the board requires you to progress as fast as you can, connecting the combo throughout the songs you play on. Chime Sharp definitely combines the speed with the skill in the game and definitely makes you show it as you progress the boards throughout the game itself in Chime Sharp. Now see, as I was playing through Chime Sharp, I noticed that this game does have some redeemable qualities about itself. While it does borrow the Tetris look and the playstyle of Tetris, it really isn't a Tetris clone because it has its own system that it plays off of. You have a progress bar that you have to keep following up, and you have to watch the time as it runs out very quickly, much more than you know. And you have to use the collapse and everything and the matches and everything possible to get through the levels. So without further ado, I'd like to introduce to you, the pros. My first pro for Chime Sharp is that this music and soundtrack in this game is great to listen to. You have these heavy techno-based songs on one half of the game, then you have random genres that give you orchestral music or some type of soft bubblegum rock or some type of spacey and distant instrumental song playing for you as you attempt to clear these boards. Chime Sharp definitely does a great job of switching the style up from the 16 songs you have. The game's soundtrack is entirely a breath of life when you play the game, and it's one reason why Chime Sharp is addictive itself to play and enjoy. It's a pro for me. My next pro for Chime Sharp is that this game has some great color schemes for the art style that usually plays into how the song style goes. If it's a hard-hitting techno type song, the colors are usually more dark and will clash against each other. If it's a much more softer tone song, the colors will be more vibrant and softer to the eyes. Chime Sharp's art style does appeal and collaborate with whatever song is up in the mix to accentuate it and make it fit the mood, tone, and demeanor of the song for the board. Chime Sharp's art style is nice and is definitely a pro for me. My last and final pro for Chime Sharp is that this game does tote some difficulty behind it. It isn't one of those puzzle titles where you have to clear a certain style or clear this much to progress. Chime Sharp gives you amounts of reach throughout the level and a time scheme you have to work with or against to progress to the next stage, which is usually 40% clearing of the stage to unlock the next song, and 60% clearing to unlock the challenge stages and the bonus portions of the stage itself. Chime Sharp does give you some difficulty as raising that bar by itself is hard to do no matter how you use the board. It's a pro for me. Now see, as I was playing through Chime Sharp, and I did say that this game does have redeeming qualities about itself, Chime Sharp also does lack in some areas heavily, and it really does have some places where it really suffers from. Chime Sharp does do a great job in certain portions of the game like you've seen in the pros, but for the con side, it really does have some noticeable cons that is really there. So without further ado, I'd like to introduce to you the cons. My first con for Chime Sharp is that the game itself is too difficult for its own good. Sometimes Chime Sharp can be just difficult in trying to progress to the next stage and trying to unlock the next song. Chime Sharp isn't too welcoming when you're trying to clear the stages and make something happen because honestly, the game is a bit difficult to enjoy sometimes. And when you do get these bonus stages open, those are even harder to play and progress through as the difficulty gets cranked up even more throughout. Chime Sharp does a solid job at adding difficulty, but it is too hard sometimes. It's definitely a con for me. My next and last con for Chime Sharp is that while the art style is aesthetically pleasing to the eye, honestly the level boards are kind of plain and boring to see. There's nothing really going on in the background, nothing to really watch, even have more design into besides the plain colorful background on the level board, the music line that the text was on the quad or pieces that's taking place on the board, and honestly that's really about it. Chime Sharp is kind of boring to look at outside of gameplay. There's not much going on that's really going on, just kind of playing on the board and on the screens of the menus. It's definitely a con for me. But all in all, Chime Sharp is a fun game to play. From the great and diverse soundtrack it has within the songs, to the vibrant and awesome art style on certain levels, and even with the difficulty it contains throughout the game, it still can be a great title to play. However, the difficulty of Chime Sharp also plays a role in making it lose its fun really quickly as well, and the levels can lose its luster quickly too in their designs. But with that being said, I'll be giving Chime Sharp a 2.5 out of 5. Alright guys, that concludes my review of Chime Sharp. Stay tuned because I will have a written review of this in the description box below where you can read it on TICGN.com to follow up this video review, so stay tuned for that as well. Also stay tuned because I will have a big review of a game following up this review on Yakuza 0, so stay tuned for that. We will be having that up right behind this as well. Also stay tuned for the other reviews I have coming up too, from Nier Automata, Halo Wars 2, Horizon Zero Dawn, Neo, and many other reviews coming, so stay tuned for those. I will have those out to you guys as quickly as possible. Oh, and I can't forget Resident Evil 7. So stay tuned for every review that will be coming up shortly as well. Also, we will be starting our Alien Isolation Let's Play that won the contest on my Twitter, which you can follow me on my Twitch and Twitter. Links to that will be in the description box below. Links to the previous reviews in the description box below. Also, links to any previous live stream will be in the description box below, guys. So until next time, until the next video, guys, what we always say before we finish it up, we'll tune in, turn up, and throw down. I'm out, and thank you for watching.